So the main purpose of today's video is to show what alternative places you can shop aside from big supermarket stores. So does anyone get super paranoid when they hear people coughing in the house now? This provokes the ever-lingering question of, should I go out to buy food? Right, time to fish out my mask making gear. Whilst we await our fateful decision.
A few moments later.
Round 2! Okay, I don't know about me, but definitely someone in this household lives on a diet of toilet paper. I swear I just put one out like 3-4 days ago. So I'm gonna do a fun experiment, right? I'm gonna stop putting out toilet paper into the public toilet and I'm gonna see if people survive on it or if someone puts one out. But I've spent too much time talking, so it's time to speed run. Okay, done and dusted. But before I go out shopping, there are a bunch of vitally important decisions I have to make. Should I wash my hair before I go out? Nah. It's all about water conservation, you know. And once you've been outside, there could be particles in your hair, so you need to wash and shampoo after you get back. Yeah. Cool. I did shower before bed last night, if that counts. I decided to go for a preppy kind of look today. Now for you girls out there who think guys make absolutely no effort, there are actually minor details that you might not notice. Like how I tucked in the back of the collar and then have the tips of my collar floating out because I'm no longer a schoolboy, right? For the jeans, I think I'm just gonna wear what I wore last time to shop with. When I was a little boy, I always had trouble putting on my trousers, and I wish I had this trick. Well, at least I have it now. Look, I even got my preppy snazzy socks on. Okay, games aside, we really need to go out now, otherwise the shops are going to be closed. Protective gear on. On. So the main purpose of today's video is to show what alternative places you can shop aside from big supermarket stores. So I'm making it a priority today to visit a recommendation from a friend. It's called Nisa Local. So basically it's kind of like a group run off-license store kind of place, or like a mini supermarket. And also, oh no, oh, shit. Just trod on some dog crap. Great. So another reason why I wanted to go out in this mask was that, one, because to show people that protection is essential. 20,000 coronavirus cases in less than, I would say, 20 days is no joke. Did I walk past it already? And also mainly, I just wanted to maybe catch one or two funny reactions from people. See if yeah. I think I really just added a new meaning to I can't see shit. because through this mask there's condensation that comes up to my glasses and I really can't see shit. MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Scoop that crap right off my shoe. Scrub it nice and slow. Here we are, Nisa Local. You'll be able to see there's still plenty of produce in here. Fresh or frozen. See? All here. All here. One tip though, you do have to try and find branches which are not traffically convenient, I should say. Potatoes, a main staple. Yeah, about these bags, they have a special use. I'll tell you about them later. Lemons could come in handy. Boost up your vitamin C. Carrots would be a nice addition to my bean soup. So, although they're not high in protein, vegetables are very rich in other nutrients. Anything from vitamin A all the way to probably vitamin C or E. So yeah. Go without some good mushrooms. You might notice the things that I choose might not be the best for value, but I know how much I can use in how much time, so I don't end up wasting food that I don't need. Hey, bread. Yeah, I'm also gonna buy some flour, but this will come in handy before I learn how to bake properly. Masking tape or paper tape, as long as it's like 2 inches wide, might be useful if I get in a pinch and run out for making masks. I forgot to take the details of my light bulb in my room. It'd be good to have a spare in any case, so I guess I'll just pick the one that's brightest. It's only like £1.70, can't hurt. I want to make as least amount of trips outside as possible. Safety goggles, very useful. Even though I have glasses and a plastic visor on, the top part is actually vulnerable. If someone's taller than me and they sneeze, you know, downwards at me, there's an opening around my eyebrows that this stuff can get in. So these would be useful to put on top, or yeah, just to use in conjunction with whatever gear you have. Beans, very strong contender in our must-get list. Mung beans, these are useful for if you eat too much like fried stuff and spicy food, you can make like desserts or just have this with something, and this like cures your sore throat to a certain degree. Yeah, just basically balances your body out. Popcorn, really like not much for 1 kilogram, and the protein's pretty good, makes for a good snack. And these beans look cool, so I think I'll get them as well, because I read the protein is quite high as well, so like you're paying for the protein, to be honest. Those wicked looking beans, I'm going to skip red kidney beans this time. I might try brown lentils. I have no idea what they're for, but we'll see. And black-eyed beans. Because, yeah, I don't want to have to walk to another off-license store, so let's just get them here. So another reason why I choose brown rice over normal rice is because it's easier to pair with like beans, so you don't need a lot of like fresh vegetables to stir fry or whatever to add flavor to the rice. It already kind of has its own flavor, so you're saving on fresh vegetables, and also has a slightly high protein content, but this is not as high as what I usually have. Usually what I have is like 70 grams. Rice is like what, like 16 grams protein. I'm not sure if that was like a miswritten information from the co-op basmati brown rice, but yeah, usually I get the co-op one, but I'll get this just as a safety net. Drop the brown lentils back out because yeah, we've already got a lot of beans for soup and desserts and whatever. So I browsed the whole nuts section, and pistachio kind of seemed like a good choice because the rice I'm getting is lower protein than what I usually have. I guess this can supplement a little bit if you have like 50 grams. So it's 20 grams of protein per, you probably can't see this, but it's 20 grams of protein per 100 gram weight. So about 50 grams is like an extra 10 grams of protein. Yeah, notice how all the sunflower seeds are like untouched. Because you gotta you gotta touch your mouth and stuff to eat them, I guess, right? I wanted to get some flour and there's only like this left, which is what? Gram flour, which is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for all-purpose flour because I also make like noodles and stuff like that with it. So I will search for it in another shop. Pasta's all gone as well, but I still have some reserves left, so we'll look for it somewhere else. So if you've seen my my midnight food feast parody, so basically it was like a parody commentary cooking video. I used the sun-dried tomatoes in my recipe and they are mighty good tasting, so well seasoned. So I'm gonna get one of each. I'm gonna need some broccoli, cauliflower. Can't do without frozen vegetables right now. I don't know about 2 kilograms, but I guess we'll just have to do with cheese and cauliflower because I can't fit that much into the freezer. There's not much space in there. So I mostly managed to get everything. Yeah, just no pasta and no flour. And I ripped my glove whilst I was reaching for my pockets, but it's just an extra precaution. And I've got to clean my feet on the gravel again. I did it before, but yeah. Better have gravel on your feet than poop, right? So during my shop experience in there, I did get a lot of looks from other people. But I also noticed more people are wearing gloves and more people are wearing masks. Maybe not as crazy as mine, but someone actually walked past and said, "Oh, he's got the best mask on," but I didn't manage to record that. And since the main purpose of this video is not actually to be comedy, so I didn't actually manage to record the reaction of other people and like the look on their face when they see me. But in general, people try and dodge like out of my way, because like I think the culture over here, people think that you only wear a mask when you're ill, and since I'm covered up like as if I'm like a part-time working at the ICU or something, then I guess people are gonna try and dodge out of my way. Since we're out already, I think I'm gonna give the local supermarket a quick browse and see if there's a queue outside, because apparently there are a lot of queues outside supermarkets right now. I'm gonna go check it out so you guys can see, and hopefully I can get some flour and some other stuff as well. Wish me luck. Just now, a guy actually tried to ask me for money on the street. Like this is a common thing that happens, but like I guess I've got shopping like on both my hands, and if it happens that it was a dangerous encounter, there's nothing I can do about it. And you know, I just gave the guy the benefit of the doubt, and he was only asking for like £1.30, but then obviously like these people, they're always like that, right? And he ended up scrounging like £4 in coins from me. But you know, I just hope that he's not taking it to do drugs or whatever, that he's actually genuinely in need of it. Like he said, he's gonna put it on his electric bill, because it's some systems are like pay as you go, and he said he's got like kids at home and stuff, so it's not like he hurt me, he didn't touch me, stuff, so, and he asked nicely, so, you know, it's a few pounds. Like, as long as it doesn't go towards harming himself or other people, then, you know, that's alright. So we're gonna continue our shop to Co-op, okay? It's too windy out today. My plastic visor just blew right off my face just now, although I just corrected it, so yeah, not much I can do about that. But I did buy a pair of goggles, so that will help. Okay, I can't see anything really much. On the plastic sheet on the floor by my feet, it kind of floated back over to me, and I basically disinfected it. I had some disinfectant wipes, and I disinfected it, and I disinfected this pair of goggles, put the visor back on, and put the goggles on top, so now the wind can't blow it away. It's harder to see because the condensation, but it works at least. Right, we're in a quiet corner just outside the supermarket now, but I guess with the goggles on, it's just a bit too much, like it's too enclosed, so the steam makes it really hard to see, and it's kind of dangerous when I'm trying to cross the road, so I took them off. It's only good when you're in like an enclosed space with loads of people like coughing and sneezing, or like, you know, like you're in a really small space, like in a lift or something like that. There have been cases where no one coughed in the lift, but basically a carrier was standing in the lift with someone else for like 1 minute, and the other guy got infected. And this was in a case in Asia. And but the goggles are kind of useful when it's really, really like windy. So if you're not crossing the road and you're just walking straight, it's kind of useful just to wear for like a minute or two. Yeah. Hey, Co-op is open, but the shelves are largely empty. See? Empty. And it feels like they're almost going to close at this hour. I didn't check the time, I guess it's between 7 and 8 now. So see what I said before, right? Like, yeah, if you go to a really convenient local supermarket, you're not going to find anything. But see, I said there'd be Tilda brown basmati rice, but it's super expensive, and I got a better alternative just at Nisa Loco. So no oats, just, you know, junk cereal which doesn't provide nutrients. So let this be a lesson to you guys. When it's not a pandemic, you should always have some sort of food stores at home. I'm not saying panic buying, but like it's like a contingency planning thing. My family's done it in Hong Kong, and they're fine. They don't have to like leave the house, and they can just back order on food. They're basically like several months ahead of us in terms of the food purchase and resource purchase situation. So the local supermarkets are starting to restock, and they can back order stuff. But here we're more disorganized, and we're earlier in the curve of the panic buying. So I guess I should buy some pizza whilst there is still pizza. Because, yeah. Ice cream! Although I do want to get it, but it seems like a waste of space. There's still some soy milk left. I guess I'll have to take what's left. Oh, 69p. Come in handy. Managed to get some mixed fruit. No raisins, but there are currants and mixed fruit. It goes well with like rice when you don't have a lot of vegetables, and like if you're baking bread. But I'm not sure I'm gonna find any flour at this rate.
Yes, we do, of course.
No flour. So I feel like it's in times like these that people really show their true colors. Like how, you know, a sudden state of panic causes everyone to turn back into animals instead of being civilized human beings that British pretend to be. You know, where's the gentleman in us now? Well, at least there's still some people who act like proper human beings, but for the majority, no. There's still a few packs of toilet rollers, well, a couple, but obviously the most expensive one. I can get the same 9 pack in Tesco for like £1.90. Well, at the superstore, that is. Since I can't find any fruit, yogurt will have to do. I'm not even going to look at the price because it says £1. Not exactly expensive. Back up on that left. These shoes are coming right off. I'm not dragging that poop into my house. So I couldn't really record whilst I was cleaning, but there was some footage captured. God, that smells bad. Oh. I'm sorry guys, but it's kind of the same as washing your bum with a shower head. It's quite common nowadays, right? If you ever see anything in my house stored in this container though, don't put your hands in there and try and pick at my food because, well, now you know. That, my friends, was disgusting. Who in their right mind would let their pet unload a heaving horse dung in the middle of the pedestrian walk without cleaning it up? I mean, whoever you are, shame on you. That's all I have to say. I also ended up using all the hot water for the cleaning. So, haven't had a hot shower yet, and you guys have to endure me looking grubby for another several minutes straight. So that's probably why the hot water ran out, because the boiler was leaking. But I've contacted the landlord, and as I was recording the last part of the video, someone must have come and sorted it out, so yeah. I think I feel like some pizza right now. Waiter! Yes, sir. What will you have me do? Pizza! And cauliflower. I shan't be a moment. Ah. And what of the cauliflower, sir? Oh, you can just place it on the table. The moral of that sketch is that it is still very possible to get sufficient food, especially in London. You just need to know where to look. So let's recap the main pointers for shopping. Number 1, you need to choose a supermarket or an off-license store that has low competition of customers, e.g. a location that's inconvenient to travel to by car or by foot. Number 2, you need to pick the right time of the day to go shopping. Basically, don't go when everyone gets off work or near the closing time of the supermarket, since most supermarkets now open slightly later and close slightly earlier than before. Going at the end of the day will result in less available products, but will also result in less people in the shop, if that's what you're looking for. Early in the morning options such as 6 AM is no longer possible for a lot of branches. You can still check with some superstores, they might be opening early, but even the Tesco Extra one that I went to back like 10 days ago or so, that one doesn't open at 6 AM anymore. It now opens at 8 AM, and which means that it's now a lot more accessible to the average person, and you're probably gonna have to queue up outside of the supermarket. And also, companies like Tesco have introduced priority shopping hours during Monday, Wednesday and Friday between 9 AM to 10 AM for vulnerable persons, or people who are self-isolating and those living in the same household. So push come to shove, my recommendation would be just choose an off-license store or choose Nisa Local or some other company similar to them. Okay, so I showed you a rough idea of the items I bought last night, and now it's time to go through the bill. Here's a view of my receipt of the things I purchased after I reviewed the items. Upon checking the whole receipt, I only found that the average prices per product was only a fraction more expensive than the usual price at a supermarket. But we're not exactly in a normal situation right now, because the normal brands of the items you buy would not be available at the supermarket right now. So what you're faced with is a slight price increase, but it's still probably cheaper than what you're going to find at a supermarket that's running out of stock. So you can expect Nisa Local's products to be 20 to 30% more expensive than what you used to buy at a supermarket. But given the convenience, I guess it's worth it, because you're also coming into contact with less people in the shop if you're not going to a very busy branch, compared to like in a big supermarket where it's literally like you're finding space to like walk. Not to mention you most likely will have to queue outside of the shop to get in, and queue up for 15 to 20 minutes just to pay for your stuff as well, in a very close proximity to your other clients. I very much doubt that they can actually space out each client 2 meters from one another whilst they're waiting for payment. Otherwise, that means that your waiting time whilst being outside would be much, much longer as well. So it's kind of like the same game either way.